Alright people, Mike Salvin here again. Welcome back to part 2 of my Foxhound rank run for MGS3 Snake Eater. Once you get out on the mountain after the ladder climb, equip your Ocelot Animals camo as well as the Desert face paint. And that gives you like 95% camo index, so you're essentially invisible while crawling around this area. And I'm basically going to speed up the footage of this because I mainly just crawled through this entire place. And if you're right next to a guard, use the directional buttons to crawl, and Snake will just crawl like extremely slowly and maintain his 95% camo index. And really, no one around here can see you at all if you just sort of stick to the center path. Definitely come over to these rocks here, because there's some MK ammo in here that you might want to replenish. There's like 2 boxes of it, so you should get full ammo back if you also replenished your MK ammo from that little storage shed back in the end boss arena. And yeah, if you picked up Ocelot's Animals camo, which you really should have done, as well as that little desert face paint camo, it just makes this area like a complete joke almost, because all you have to do is crawl, and most of the guards, as long as you're going slow enough while crawling, they can't see you at all. And make sure you are crawling when you hear the chopper overhead, and make sure you're on the ground when one of those comes along. I like to just get this snake in here because it's always good to have some food on hand. I like to hold up this guy, throw him onto the ground, freeze him again so that he stays held up while on the floor. That only works if you throw them on the ground first. I like to get a little headshot on this guy. I kind of missed there, so I had to move up a bit further on him. But yeah, headshot these 2 guys. And then just keep crawling so the chopper doesn't see you. And if it gets out of range, you can lift up these guys and just steal whatever they've got on them. Sometimes it'll be ammo that you're already stocked up on. Make sure to crawl before you go around this corner, because there will be a guard just waiting there for you to run into him. And like, yeah, he should be able to see me normally, but because I have 95% camo index, I could just wait for that trank to take effect. Come over to this corner of this area and then start crawling again. There'll be a guard up here. Get a nice little headshot on him. And as ever, make sure your tranquilizer, the silencer's got a pretty healthy level of, like it's got a pretty healthy amount of duration left for it, and that you're not running low on it. I think I pick up another suppressor later on, and then you really don't need another one after that. I would just raid everything in these little shacks once you take everyone down, just to stock up on not healing items but food items. And again, you can just pick up a guard and drop him to see if he has any ammo that you might want to get out of him. Again, this next area, same thing, just keep crawling. It's a really slow way to get through here, but it's completely effective and very easy for like anyone playing this to do. I like to come down into this little shack here and go through the little crawl space, and then that safely gets you into this tunnel, and there's not really any guards down in the tunnel, so I like to just crawl along here. There probably are faster ways to do this. People, probably speedrunners, have like really fast methods, but again, this is just the really easy, safe way to do it, but it is pretty slow. But again, on the Foxhound rank, you have 5 hours to do this rank, and it's really so generous, and it does allow you to slow down sometimes like this. As long as you're doing like the boss fights pretty quickly, and you're getting through other like areas pretty quickly, it's okay to slow down on stuff like this and just safely crawl the entire way. The Ocelot camo, this is really the only area that it's effective as camo. But it is like completely effective, like 95% with the desert face paint. Just completely breaks that area. You might as well be wearing the stealth camo item that you get for beating the game without being seen once. You might as well be wearing it during this because that's how effective Ocelot's camo is. There's some more ammo under this bed and some more food items around up there if you want them. Now, be very careful going around this corner. A flamethrower guy is waiting for you. Just crawl when you get near to that corner and you can headshot him. I'll slow down this footage because I started messing up here, to be honest. Try to headshot these people as quickly as possible. Try not to miss because you will go into caution because they will hear like someone shooting at them and they don't exactly know where it's coming from. But try to take everyone that's over there that you can see out and then just drop down the cliff. And I was a bit nervous, so I crawled towards the red door because I wasn't sure if there was anyone else around looking at me. And don't worry if you get a caution. As long as you don't get a red alert, it's fine. On the Foxhound run of this game, they really are very generous with the requirements. Cautions don't do anything to disrupt your rank. And yeah, I'm just leaving in any of my mistakes just to show that it is quite simple to get the Foxhound rank and you can improvise and fix problems pretty easily. Take the silencer off your handgun and get your Mosin Nugget or whatever you would call it, however you pronounce that, the sniper rifle that you picked up off the end that you got for defeating him non-lethally. I would also save in the Fury's boss room because he can be pretty tricky, to be honest. So yeah, go ahead, get your MK and get your tranquilizer rifle. And I would just run to the end of this room. I like to use a combination of night vision and thermal goggles just to be able to see the Fury easier. Because it's quite tricky to make him out in here. And yeah, just get him with the sniper rifle, the tranquilizer rifle that is. Because this weapon really destroys him pretty quickly if you can get 2 fast shots on him. I kind of missed there, but try to get him twice in quick succession. Remember to use R2 to quickly equip and unequip your gun to reload it. So I do it here. Just try to like quick scope him. Can't even speak. Quick scope him and you'll just get his health down really fast. And then run out of the way once you've knocked him down because he'll be getting back up again. And when he has half health like this, he will be indeed the true Fury. He'll be running around trying to set everything on fire. So I think I was waiting for him to run up here. He was moving a bit too quickly to snipe, so I ran out with the pistol and get a couple of shots on him, knocked him over. And then I just ran down this way. You don't have to do that with the pistol. I was just feeling a bit cheeky there. And I knew he was going to be like trying to chase me down to this other end if I did that. So I let him get off some bursts of fire. And I thought he was going to land over here. And I turned out to right. And then I started sniping him again. Just completely quick scope him. R2 to equip and unequip the rifle really fast. And the end sniper rifle just completely decimates him if you get your shots on him directly. That was pretty fast. You get a suppressor for the MK out here, so make sure to pick that up if your current one is getting a bit like if it's deteriorated quite a bit. That was quite a quick fight for the Fury, but it could have been faster also if you just get really good with the end sniper rifle. I've seen people beat the Fury in like 40 seconds or quicker before, like elite speedrunners. So make sure you get your silencer back on your MK. Get rid of the lethal handgun just to make sure you don't equip it by mistake and start shooting people. Because that happened to me previously on other practice runs of the big of the Foxhound rank run. Accidentally equipped the lethal handgun and shot some people. And it's like, oh god damn it, not again. I like to crawl through this area into the torture sort of where the torture building is. There'll be a guard coming across here. So I was just waiting around to see what his pattern was, because it had been a while since I'd done this area. And again, if you don't like this route or this path, you can save out there after the Fury if you want to, and just experiment with your own different paths. Because again, this big base is very open. There's a lot of different paths you can go on. There was a guard down there that I'd forgot about, so he'd sort of half seen me there, and I decided I needed to crawl away out of there because that was going a bit wrong. Decided to headshot this guy, and then I think his friend started walking in. Nobody was behind me yet. Yeah, his friend started walking over, so I lined up another headshot here. You can equip the Fears camo here if you want to. It gets your stealth camo up to at least 70. Makes it a bit harder for these people to see you, but always keep in mind that your stamina will be dropping rapidly if you're wearing his camo, and you'll need to eat quite a lot of stuff to put it back up once you get through here. Again, I just decided to crawl through here to the main building, staying away from that searchlight over there. And I saw this guard coming, so I got out the pistol again. Nice little headshot on him. And I was just moving the camera all around, making sure there was no one like coming directly towards me or anything. And it's kind of, yeah, see, they can see you from so far away if you don't have a decent camo in Snake Eater. So maybe you do want to equip the Fears camo here. But yeah, this guy almost got me. I missed my first shot, but I managed to put him down with the next one. Always be doing your best to get direct headshots to put guards down immediately, especially if they half see Snake or they think they saw something and start moving towards you. You want to be very quick at that. Get on your scientist uniform and get out the handkerchief or the cigarette knockout gas weapon, because they're both pretty useful in here. You're just gonna come up the stairs till we capture Major Raiden or whatever his name is. I forget his actual name. I just call him Major Raiden because he is based like on his design after Raiden. It's a bit of a joke in the fan base. A lot of people really disliked Raiden when the MGS2 first came out, and in the MGS3, Kojima kind of used Raiden as a joke. They made this character resemble him, that you have to knock out and steal his uniform, and you could just bully this character. But yeah, I think his name is just Ivan Raidenikov or something like that. It's just like a Russianized version of Raiden's name. But I just like to knock out all those people with the handkerchief, and then just immediately drag the Major back here to this door. And because he's authorized to go through this door, it automatically opens for Snake, just as long as he's dragging the Major along with him. And you just take him to these lockers, and then you get his uniform here, and you put on his mask, because for some reason the Foxhound somehow knew Snake would need a mask of this guy, so they gave him one at the start of the mission. It's never really explained. But yeah, you can get the mask on and the uniform. You don't have to open all these lockers, but I think I was just looking for supplies, and I wasn't even sure which lockers opened. I don't think any of them opened on this side. Oh no, this one did. You can get a ration in there. And yeah, there's nothing in here. I think I was just looking for like another suppressor or something. I don't really need one now at the moment. But yeah, you do have time to mess around a little bit if you want to while you're doing this. Again, you can go straight to where you're supposed to go now that you have the uniform and the mask on. But you can run around really and nobody will bother you because you're disguised as this guy. So you can just pretty much go wherever you want. All the guards will just like ignore you or salute you or whatever. I came in here to grab the scorpion just for the sake of it. And there was the other suppressor that I wanted. It's down there in that little armory room. So if people are looking for a suppressor, that's where you can get another one. After that other one you got with the Fury. And with those last two suppressors, you really won't have to worry about a suppressor again now for the rest of the game, pretty much. As long as you aren't missing like loads and loads of shots. I think I accidentally ran back out here. Sometimes the analog stick on the PS5 could trip me up, and I almost turned around and ran straight back out a second time. But it's just the way the fixed camera angles are. Sometimes when you come through doors, it's very easy to get turned around and go in the opposite direction of where you meant to. But this part's really quite easy once you've got this uniform, because everyone just leaves you alone. It doesn't really bother you or anything at all, really. So yeah, you just walk up to these guys and they let you straight in there. So next up is just the torture sequence with Vulcan. You can't really skip this. You have to listen to this little conversation for a while. But don't worry about it. You just have to listen to it, and then you can skip the cutscenes after it. I think I just left this in here just to explain to people that you shouldn't worry about having this scene play out. Again, you have like 5 hours to do all this. And it's okay to just waste like a little minute or two listening to Vulcan's speech here. But yeah, these cutscenes. I think I forgot to skip the start of this one, so it plays out a little while. But yeah, don't worry about it. You can skip all this stuff once you get into this, and then once you're in the actual prison cell, you can save in there if you want. But I think I made a mistake there. You should actually wait till you get out of the cell to save. Basically what you do here is you wait for Johnny to throw you food, throw it back out to him 3 times, and on the 3rd time round, there'll be a cutscene with him, and then you get the cigarette spray weapon from Johnny. He gives it back to you. He thinks it's just normal cigarettes. And you also get the code for the door off the back of a picture that he's holding. I think the code is 14475. And once you've knocked him out with the cigarette spray, just go ahead and open the door. And it's just the safest way to get out of here without Johnny giving you an alert or something like that. Before you knock him out on the last round, make sure he throws in a ration for you. So that cutscene will play there. Go ahead and eat the rat on the ground with the fork to get Snake's health up. And then get your cigarette spray ready. And the next time Johnny comes by, let him throw in the ration and wait for it to land. And then knock him out. Pick up the ration. Put in the code 4475 into your radio. That'll open the door. Pick up Johnny so that he drops a little stun grenade, or smoke grenades actually, and then come outside and equip this ration that you picked up off that he threw in. I would save out here if you actually want to save, but what you want to do is throw your ration, equip a smoke grenade, and hold it like you're about to throw it, and this somehow silences Snake's footsteps, and he can run right past guards while he's holding a smoke grenade, or any grenade, to be honest. He can run silently while he's about to throw it. I like to come out this way through that little crawl space. Then I slowly crawl under here, and I just keep an eye on the guards' feet to make sure they've moved far enough past. It's okay to waste a little bit of time here because you have to wait for the guards to be in certain positions. And I just wait for that second guy to start going around the corner. Get up, equip the smoke grenade, and press square as if I'm about to throw it. So as long as Snake's running with it held up in the air like that, he runs silently. Wait at this corner for this guard to turn his back, and then run with the smoke grenade held out again. and they really can't hear you. I don't know what it is about Snake's animation here, but it just makes him run silently. Someone might sort of half see you if you're going this way, but don't worry about it. And then I think I take another save out here, because this next area is really the tricky one, and it can mess you up. And you're allowed 25 saves, so don't worry if you're saving a bit close together on some of these, because you are allowed 25 saves. Just make sure you're keeping count of how many saves you've used, and try not to go over 25. So come out here, sort of stand around this area, let one of these guards see you, and he'll like come down there to investigate. Uh, Make like you're gonna throw the grenade again, so that you run silently. Get up behind this guy, and then I like to use the cigarette spray on him. Make sure you like stealth walk by using L1 and the directional buttons to get up close behind him so he doesn't turn around. Follow this exact path, again doing the smoke grenade run. Get up behind this guy. Once again, stealth walk. I was a bit slow there and he almost caught me. But stealth walk up behind that guy, and then use the cigarette spray. And once you've put him down, make sure you do the grenade run again, where you're about to throw the grenade. And Snake can run silently past that dog. And that's really how I like to get out of prison and make sure I escape pretty safely. I'll probably speed up the footage of this run through the sewers, because there isn't a lot happening really. You're just trying to outrun some dogs. There's some items in here you can pick up. Ammo for the single action army, and some life medicine. We don't really need either of those things, but I just ran over them anyway. And there's a ration in the corner under the stairs there, if you need to put your stamina gauge back up. But first of all, you come down to the left, crawl through here, crawl through another little opening here on the right, and go up these stairs and just run along up the top here just to move faster and get through this little crawl space on the right, and back through another one on the left. Don't stop for anything, because there are dogs behind you and you don't want them to catch up with you. Basically, once you start running to the light, there'll be a load of cutscenes. Just skip through those. For the sorrow, I like to make it just to the end of his river, just to check that I haven't like killed anybody like lethally. Even though you did non-lethal all the bosses, they will show up here, and they will count as kills, because they did blow up of their own accord after Snake defeated them. So I guess the sorrow counts that as a murder, and that's why they show up in this river. But as long as the only people you're seeing here are the bosses, that means you're on course to get your non-lethal part of the requirement down. And also, I like to get the Sorrow's camo, because it can silence your footsteps, and some people might need that later. I don't think I actually use it in any of my strategies, but again, MGS3 is so open. Some of the later areas, there's like quite a few different ways to do it. Some of them do require the Sorrow's camo, and maybe you just want it, so I'd say just make it to the end of his river. It's quite short on extreme. If you're doing a non-lethal playthrough, there's hardly anyone to walk past. So anyway, use your revival pill once you pass out at the end of the river. I like to eat this goat with a fork, just to get some food around, because Snake lost all his other food items. So it's okay to capture some extra food here, just for going into the end game. We don't really need food again until we're with Eva right at the very end area, just before the boss fight. Like the boss, actual final fight, when you have to escort Eva's when you'll next need food. I just go ahead and take this save in this cave with Eva. It's just a pretty decent one to use. In here, make sure you grab a frog, tree frog, trank one out, and get rid of everything you don't really need from your inventory, and equip this C3 and your thermal goggles. And make sure that you tranquilize and take off your silencer so you can not waste any of it on this frog. Because if you throw out a tree frog against Volgan, it sort of distracts him and can be quite useful. Uh, Other than that, get this cardboard box down here at the end of this corridor, because we need that to get inside the base really easily. And get your MK2 bullets down here as well. You really want that cardboard box. Don't leave it behind, because it's once you put it on, you can just hide in a truck, and Snake gets transported inside the main hangar for the Shagahod, and it just saves quite a bit of time. So make sure that you have your MK equipped and not your lethal handgun when you're taking out that guy. Just roll across here, roll over that barrier. Don't go through that door, but come along here to the right and up this way. And you can equip the Fears camo just pretty quickly here, just to get your camo index up a little higher while running through this area, because there's nowhere really to hide and it's quite tricky to get through here. But as long as you stick to this right hand side, no one will really see you. Then you can come over here a little just to make sure you don't wake that dog. I would roll over the barrier and then just hop in this truck and equip the cardboard box that you picked up down in that tunnel, and also put on the scientist uniform, because we're going to be running back into the main base area to grab a maintenance uniform once we get into the main tank hangar. So yeah, using the cardboard box, really great trick. It transports you right into the Shagahod's main hangar. But don't hang around in there too much. Just get up, and I think wearing the scientist uniform will give you some cover here. Though I'm not sure scientists are actually supposed to be in there, only maintenance workers. But I just like to equip the scientist uniform because we have to come back into this room, and I wasn't sure if there were going to be guards around here. Grab the sneaking uniform, that'll help us against Volgan. It just means we'll take less damage against him. I couldn't remember which locker had the maintenance uniform, but it's actually this one over here. Yeah, in here. Grab that, because we're going to need that to just freely walk around the Shagahod hangar. You'll just disguise yourself as a maintenance worker, and nobody really questions you. But don't run up to the other maintenance workers, because they'll recognize Snake isn't supposed to be there. And he does look pretty funny with the bandana and eye patch while wearing this. And it's actually a miracle that the guards don't question you for looking so strange while dressed as a maintenance worker. So you can run straight at the guards and they don't really notice you. But these maintenance workers, that guy, he sort of half saw me there. So I ran over here. Somebody saw me jump over that railing, so I had to quickly place the C3 and then run around this way, so the guard coming to investigate didn't notice me. Then place some more C3 over here, and the last one over here, and that is really quite simple. Now the Volgan fight, it can be a little tricky, but if you know what you're doing, he's quite easy. But it can take you a few times if you're not used to fighting him CQC style. Equip the sneaking outfit to take less damage, and put on the riding mask, because it will briefly distract the colonel. And just de-equip everything else you don't need, and get your tree frog that you equipped. Make sure it's in your inventory so you can throw it out. If you have the riding mask, you can get 3 free shots on him. Then get up behind him and get him in the back. Then de-equip your weapon when he's trying to do that lightning attack, because it hones in on your gun. While he's all electrified, don't try to grab him. You can run behind him and get a single shot on his back. And when he's de-electrified, you can run up to him and press circle to CQC him. And when he's on the ground, just forward roll into him, and that does some serious damage. When he's trying to machine gun you with his bullets in his hand, just run around him and try to dodge that. He accidentally clipped me with some shots there. If he stops to talk to Ocelot, that's also a good time to just CQC grab him and throw him on the ground. And again, if he's electrified, don't try to grab him, but get a shot on his back with your pistol and then throw him to the ground and roll over the top of him, and you can really get him down pretty quickly. Start of the second phase, get on the floor so this attack doesn't hit you. Throw out the tree frog, it should hopefully distract him. It took him ages to see the tree frog here. He was too busy doing that big attack. And if you see him trying to do it, just get on the floor. If he's trying to machine gun you again, you can grab him. When he turns around to this thing, just get him in the back of the head. I think I missed there. You can also get him in the back. When he's doing that bullet attack again, get on the floor so you can dodge it. And be trying to shoot him in the back when you can. And when he's unelectrified, always grab him, throw him to the floor. He finally noticed the tree frog, so I got a bunch of free shots in on him here when he was trying to destroy the tree frog. If you're quick about it, you can get like 4 or 5 shots on him. He was still trying to destroy it. It really helped me out here. It took him so long to actually notice the tree frog. When he does this attack, use the fake death pill if he has very little health left. Because this can just guarantee that you get through this fight really easily and undamaged in the second phase. When he's very little health, just pull this trick, wait for his back to be turned, get back up again, turn around and just get him in the head with your pistol, or the back if he has very little health left. Grab his uniform. Do not leave his uniform behind. We need Volgan's camo. Go ahead and equip the skull face paint, or the zombie face paint, and put on the Cold War camo, which you just picked up from Volgan. Enemies will hesitate to shoot you if you're facing them while wearing this outfit. They don't want to shoot the Soviet flag, and it'll just really keep you alive during this bike chase. And that really is Volgan. You do that few tricks with the tree frog and the riding mask, and it really helps you out. And otherwise, just don't have your gun equipped for most of the fight, and he can't do that homing attack on you. Anyway, for this, I was trying to use some stun grenades here at the start. Really a bad idea. I'm not sure why I did it. But de-equip your silencer, and then just be facing these guards, and they will hesitate to shoot at you as long as you're looking at them directly and you have the Soviet uniform, the Cold War uniform equipped, because they really don't want to shoot the Soviet flag. And I guess they think you're like one of Volgan's men or something because you're wearing this. But yeah, they won't fire at you as long as you're facing them. If you turn your back to them, they'll start shooting again. But having this uniform equipped, it really does just keep you alive. I'm speeding up this footage because it really isn't that tricky to get through here as long as you picked up Volgan's uniform. You can get some early shots on the Shagohod. You barely do any damage, but I like to get it down just by even a fraction, just to speed things up later. Once you get to the second area, again, always be looking directly at the enemies, because if you're looking at them, they're looking at your Soviet flag on Snake's chest, and they really don't want to fire. But again, it only works if you're looking directly at them. And I think the game, they definitely designed it so each boss camo you get is useful in like the immediate like following level or area once you've unlocked it. Because I don't think it's a coincidence that you have to face so many enemy soldiers here, and if you non-lethal the previous boss, they suddenly can't shoot at you if you're wearing it. I think it definitely was designed with that kind of thing in mind. And just the way you unlock Ocelot's camo so early, and then it becomes useful later on when you're on the mountaintop. And if you hold up the end in the middle of his fight, you can get his camo. And his camo's really effective in that area that you're in. And you get 100% camo for the rest of that fight if you're wearing it. The Fears camo is useful for most of the game, to be honest. If you're on extreme, when you just need a quick camo in areas that no other camo really works in, it really helps you out, even though it drains your stamina. I would equip the RPG and some machine guns here, and just be shooting at the Shagohod as much as possible, doing the quick equip and unequip tactic to just fire and instantly reload and try to get as much damage on him as possible. And if you're spamming these rockets, he can't really get his rockets to fire because he's too busy being stun locked back there. And you just have to be as quick as possible at equipping and unequipping the RPG and just firing off these shots. I think he actually wasn't able to get off his rockets or machine gun fire because I just kept doing so much damage to him. And I actually think I stopped him in his tracks back there by damaging him so much. And that really slowed him down and sort of put him back there a bit. Because most of the time you have to be shooting down these missiles that he fires during that section. But if you're quick enough, you can just hold him off with the RPG. Next, you have to shoot the C4 on the bridge. There are I think there's 4 bits of Semtex, or it's actually C3 in this game because we're in the 60s and C4 wasn't invented yet. But get the first 3 and don't shoot the 4th one on this hanging object until the Shagohod is pretty close. I think it's the best one to fire on. Always shoot when Eva says it's here, and that's when you'll get past that pretty easily. I would save during the Shagohod fight here, just because the second phase it can go wrong, and I was messing it up for ages until I changed my tactic. I was trying to take him down with a tranquilizer rifle instead of the handgun. People can do it pretty quickly with the rifle, but I don't know what I was doing wrong during it. But anyway, that's the second phase of the Shagohod. The first phase is really quite simple. Equip your sneaking suit because you take less damage while wearing it. And basically, because you have infinite ammo, you can just spam RPG rockets onto the treads of the Shagohod, and when it's frozen in place, just shoot it in the damaged part at the back, the damaged smoking area, and you can just really keep it frozen in place. It can't really damage you if you just keep spamming these rockets and taking these shots over and over again. It is a bit slow, so I've sped up this fight just to 2 times speed. I do that on parts that aren't that difficult or that aren't going to give people that much trouble, just to make the video a little bit shorter. The second phase is a bit trickier, or at least it was for me, because I was making a mistake of trying to use the sniper rifle. I definitely think in the past I've taken him down with the sniper rifle, so I'm not sure what I was doing wrong this time. But I was getting messed up at the start of that fight. I did manage to recover. But yeah, this first phase, just spam the rockets on the treads. It'll freeze him in place, and Eva can get around behind him, and then you just shoot that smoking damaged weak point. And yeah, this phase is quite easy, to be honest. One of the easier fights in the game. You don't have infinite ammo now when you're on foot, so be careful with your shots. But again, just hit the treads and then try to shoot Vulcan. I was trying to get him with the sniper rifle here for ages, and it just wasn't working. I don't know what I was doing wrong. He kept dodging it. Maybe you have to hit him from behind or something like that. Or not attack him from the side that he's on. But yeah, I just kept trying here and was too slow, or was missing, or being blocked. Again, I tried to hit him in the back there and it still didn't work. But yeah, don't be like me. I just started using the trank pistol, and it seemed to just do the job as well as the sniper rifle does, to be honest. Maybe not as quick, but yeah, if the sniper rifle isn't working, I would just get shots on him with the pistol because it seemed easier. When he fires these missiles, get out some sort of assault rifle, either the AK or the XM rifle or whatever it's called, and just machine gun those before they can hit you. Or you can dodge out of the way. I was getting really chewed up here, but I managed to pull it back anyway and still defeat Volgan. I'm leaving in all these mistakes again just to prove to people that the Foxhound rank isn't that strict. When you do run out of ammo for the RPG, Eva will throw out some more. So keep an eye out for her throwing out those boxes of RPG ammo, and then you can just continue to freeze him in place. And then I just took him down with a pistol. I think it was a bit slower than using the ends rifle, but for some reason I was forgetting something that was making that work. Again, when you're on the bike again, equip the Volgan camo, the Cold War, and make sure you're facing everyone on the bike. And as long as you're wearing it, they will not shoot at you. They just really don't want to fire at the Soviet flag. Pretty funny little trick, and I don't think there's anywhere else in the game that you really need to use it. And again, my theory that they designed each boss camo to be useful in the following area just after it, I think it is maybe true. Although the boss, the very final fight, her camo is only useful in her fight, and it's only useful in New Game Plus, so that's a bit kind of ruins my theory a little, or I guess not, because it still is useful the next time you come back to fight the boss, I guess. But yeah, the uniforms, you definitely should pick them all up when you're doing this non-lethal run. I forgot to hold up the end, but his camo is mainly useful for the rest of the end fight. Because I wasn't really crawling on the ground that much and was trying to sneak up on him by just following his footprints, it wasn't that necessary for me to get his uniform. These guys on the floating platforms, or whatever you would call these, again, as long as you're looking at them, they won't shoot at the Soviet flag either, as long as you're wearing the Cold War uniform. And I was missing so many shots against this guy, it was pretty hilarious. But again, they won't shoot at you, and you can shoot at them all day. Make sure to turn around when Eva's talking about there being a log in front of you, so you can use the RPG against the log and blow it up before you drive over it. Again, I left all this on 2x speed, just because it isn't that hard to get through if you have the Soviet camo equipped, or the Cold War camo even. Just be very quick picking it up off Volgan after his fight, because the cutscene starts quite quickly after you defeat him, and you only have like 10 seconds or so to pick it up. And maybe you were so relieved that you beat Volgan that you forgot to pick it up or something, but I'm just giving a quick warning to always pick up the uniform as soon as you can. Same thing if you want the boss's uniform at the very end, you have to pick it up right away before the cutscenes can start, otherwise you missed your opportunity really. So that's the end of the chase, and then we're into the final little Eva section. It can be quite annoying because there's so many guards and they're quite hard to see. So cure yourself up as Snake and then cure Eva. Make sure to equip this ridiculous looking camo now, because it's not going to be helpful in the forest. Go back to the tiger stripe. Put your silencer back on your pistol, because we really need it back now for all these guards. And yeah, replace your camo with the tiger stripe, and of course put on the woodland face paint. Pick up some snakes or anything else that's around here, because you need to feed the Eva quite often, because if her stamina drops way down, she will refuse to walk any further and she can get caught. I'm just speeding. I would drop a save here because it's very easy to get caught on these next few guard encounters. You're safe until this cutscene plays, and then when the caution comes up, guards are going to be coming in from behind. I like to go over this way and make sure Eva follows you to about here, and then stop, get down on your knees, crouch, so that Eva will also crouch and not be seen by these guards. And then I would sort of get the first one down and then move along a little bit more. I accidentally shot a wall there for some reason. Get down, crouch again, and just try to headshot all these guys before they can get really that close to you. I was making a bit of a mess of this and not getting the headshots I needed. But just keep at it and keep getting the guy in the front, so that like they don't advance any further, as long as you're taking out the lead guy. And I was really missing so many shots here, but I just sort of gave up and started spamming just to put all those guys down. So just be aware that those guys are coming in after you, and really the best course of action is to stop at some point and headshot them all before they get too close. And it's probably best to feed Eva after you've put those guys down. I still had this goat that I'd caught after the Soares River, so I just gave that to Eva, and she seemed to think that was alright. But yeah, I fed Eva that, and then just cross over this little bridge here. I'm gonna speed up this footage because no more guards enter this area after you take out those initial 5 or so people. Just get them pretty quickly. I picked up another snake there just in case. And also have your thermal goggles ready, because it'll really help you see the guards in this next area. It's probably the trickiest part of this whole escape section. They're just very well hidden in the undergrowth, and you would never see them if you didn't have the thermal goggles. Some of them, they're lying down or just waiting in bushes. Again, try to get your headshots and don't miss as many shots as I was missing, because it just puts the guards on alert and they become aware that someone's shooting at them. This guy was getting way too close, so I had to lay down, and I thankfully got 85% camo from laying down and was able to headshot them pretty quickly. There was a guy over here, so I decided to headshot him too. Again, I was missing my initial shots, and yeah, you just have to try harder to be a better shot than me. There isn't really a good strat to get through here that I know of that doesn't involve just tranking everyone. But again, if you saved at the start of this area, feel free to go a little off track from my video and just do whatever's working for you. Also, if you're running light on ammo, you can pick up a few guards and shake them down for some ammo. I probably should have picked up a few more, just because I really did waste so much ammo trying to trank these guys. I was being a bit impatient and sloppy with my aim, because I knew I was so close to the end of the game. So I was playing a bit sloppily here. But yeah, you can trank out all those guards and pick them up and shake them down for ammo, and it's probably better to have maybe like 20 bullets left. Be careful, there's a snake here in the undergrowth. Don't think it would damage us, but sometimes Eva runs into a snake and she gets scared and won't walk forward. Always be pressing triangle to do that little hand signal that brings Eva along with you. And once you get to this area, I would start crawling and try to sneak up behind this guy, behind this log. He's just laying down there flat, hoping that you'll walk down that way and just in front of his path. But I like to come up behind him like this, just crawling very slowly, and then just try to get a headshot on him. He's one of the easier ones to take out, and then you can start using your thermal goggles again if you want to. But I sort of knew where some of these guys were. Like, there's one right behind that log over there, and there's another guy just ducked down in this hedge. I think I got a headshot on him. That made this guy stand up, so I got a headshot on him. That made this guy over here stand up, and I got a shot on him, I think. Might have missed a few there, actually. But yeah, I got my headshot eventually. And there was a guy up here in the top left. Don't crawl out too far, because he started to notice something was going on. So I had to pause and try to get my aim on him. I equipped the thermal goggles because I couldn't really see where he was, and then I got a headshot on him eventually. And I think he's the last guy, but I wasn't quite sure, so I was just staying down because I wasn't certain if I'd got them all yet. As long as you're crawling, Eva will be crawling wherever she got to. And yeah, I think that was everyone, so then I just decided to get out of here. Again, I only have 3 bullets left. You don't really need your gun against the boss. Guns are pretty ineffective against her. I wouldn't waste my time using guns on her. But if you wanted to, you could pick up some of these enemies and restore some ammo. I think they all drop MK ammo in this area if you're low. I went back to look for some of them, but they seem to despawn, so be quick about it if you are doing that. But again, you don't really need the ammo against the boss. You basically have to just get good with CQC. You don't really have any good camo to use in her arena unless you equip the scientist uniform, which would be pretty funny. But I save in her arena just because she can be pretty tough, and you could be redoing this a few times. But basically, you just want to run straight towards her. When she tries to CQC you, you have to hit circle when Snake grunts, and press circle then to reverse her attack. Throw her on the ground, get a kick on her, and then run away and hide behind a tree, and just repeat that process over and over again. I was sort of messing up the counter there, so I was just knocking her over with a forward roll. It's not as effective as getting the slam on her. So every time she fires a machine gun, be running away to hide behind a tree. After she does her burst of fire, run in, get the counter on her, slam her to the ground, and then do your punch punch kick to get a single kick on her, and then roll out of there and get behind a tree. She will fire off some machine gun fire again. Just stay hidden until she runs to hide behind her own tree. You can use the thermal goggles to see her better if you're losing sight of her. And each time she runs out again, get your counter on her. It's whenever Snake makes a little grub sound. That's when you hit circle to do that counter. And then get your slam on her immediately after she's been sort of stun locked once you've countered her. So yeah, counter, move forward a bit and just slam her down with circle and the analog stick, and then roll out of there so you can get back behind a tree. It can be tricky to get the hang of this, and it takes some practice to get the timing down. You have to be very quick after you counter her to just get forward immediately and get that slam. Then get your single kick and then just roll away to get behind a tree before she can get back up again. This is really my favourite fight in the game, and probably my favourite boss fight ever. It's just so badass doing this whole thing with CQC only. And if the fight's taking a long time, the Snake Eater theme comes in. And it's just a really cool moment when the Snake Eater theme starts playing. I think I managed to get her down before the music came in. But yeah, you really do want to be finishing up the fight quite quickly. Because when the music starts, that means you haven't got long left until the bombs get dropped on you. So I was doing pretty well here. I was like getting a no damage run, and she was almost down. But I think she does manage to clip me with a bullet, or maybe counters one of my attacks here. I was getting too excited about a no damage run, and then she got a punch in, and it can go wrong very quickly if you lose your rhythm. But I managed to counter her here and get her thrown down. And I think, was that the final kick? No, I needed one more, but I just got behind this tree again. So it's really just repeating the same thing over and over. Getting your counter, slam her down, kick her, run away and hide behind a tree, and then repeat it all over again. And then grab her uniform quickly, because if you don't, the cutscene will start. And that is the Foxhound rank, basically. You just have to skip all the cutscenes. I equipped a cigar just for a quick smoke after that fight. Uh, but yeah, you can't skip this one when you have to shoot the boss. You have to wait for this to play out. But after that, you're on the little plane thing with Ocelot. Doesn't matter if you lose your duel to him or whatever. Just skip all those cutscenes. And you have to wait for the end credits to play out. And then you'll get your Foxhound rank. I'm not sure if the credits count for your time when you're doing this, but I think they do because they counted in MGS1 and MGS2. And I'm not sure if they ever stop counting in any of the games for these rankings. But yeah, you have 5 hours, so it doesn't really matter as much as it did in MGS1 and MGS2 where you had that 3-hour limit. So yeah, you have to shoot the boss, and it's one of the greatest video game moments ever there, probably, where you actually are forced to pull the trigger yourself. Really quite powerful stuff. And then you just duel Ocelot, doesn't matter if you win or lose. I think I won there. It's the left hand gun's always the winning one, I think. Anyway, just skipping past the end credits, and then you will get your Foxhound rank. 2 hours 36 on extreme, no kills, no alerts, and no health items. Yeah, so thanks for watching, people. Hope that was somewhat helpful, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time with another video.